So it's June 13th, 2021 and you're watching E3. Maybe you're doing it over a Discord call, and maybe, just maybe, you saw it. Tasty little vampire game called Redfall. And you see a street with multiple possible characters and some Nosferatu looking geezers. And you think, or at least I did, ooh, Borderlands with vampires. Well, the date right now is the 3rd of May 2023. So I missed launch day, but some other people got the chance to play. And they let their feelings be known, such as someone called Hit who says,
"One of the worst games I've played in a long time, avoid at all cost."
Harsh words, Mr. Hip, truly harsh words. Well, I wonder what C1, C2, C3 and C4 might say. They think it's okay. Well, with early reviews in, such as a lovely little 63 on Metacritic and 5 out of 10 on Steam, why don't I load it up and give it a whirl? Public and everybody, welcome to Redfall. What you've just watched is a style of video that I've enjoyed doing for the intro for other videos, such as my Atomic Heart video and Gears of War trailer video. Usually following this would be my gameplay of moments I thought were humorous or at least tried to elicit joy for the viewers, in a hope at some form of fleeting fame. But I'm getting off point. What I'm saying is, by looking outside the box you can see this video, by the evidence I have given you, is a different style of video. The reason behind this is this reason. Okay, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Now, for the average gaming media enjoyer, this is a standard thing to do, but not for me. Usually I'm able to bear with a game's issues for the longest time, reach its designed end goal, and then never touch it again. But Redfall was different. First off, let me just say this had nothing to do with the issues that are following the game as of right now. For example, people complaining about running issues or crash issues. I never came across any of them. In fact, the only issues I ever came across were issues that pointed out I just need to upgrade my hardware. No, my issues are something much more petty and mine alone, and I need content, so I'm going to speak at you about them. My issue is with the content the game was providing. Now, before we proceed, let it be known I only got as far as leaving the initial Redfall area and starting into the second area, so please take anything I say with a pinch of salt. I might have missed when the game got good, but that'll lead into issues soon enough. As far as gameplay, it is your standard loot and shoot, and the best way I can put this, imagine the flair of Borderlands weapons, and then realising it's more akin to Warzone, where the guns are just slightly different between levels. And yes, you're going to hear Borderlands a lot in this video. I'm going to compare it so much to Borderlands. Admittedly, some of the gold and legendary weapons were decent to use and aesthetically pleasing to look at, and the stake launcher and UV light were very fun concept of weapons. But after the 5 minutes of fame, it was just another weapon choice, stuck in your arsenal, forgotten about till you found a gun. That got rid of Redfall's staking mechanic. Back onto gameplay, and yes, back onto the Borderlands. One of the best things in the Borderlands was the character choice, from a gun-wielding Gunzerker to a mythical siren. And what did we get in Redfall? We got a Dweebenheimer with a dodgy taser, C4 nut, the obligatory bisexual with a brooding attitude, also is a rogue, so yay, and we also got a mage with attachment issues. Naturally I chose the mage with attachment issues, so I cannot speak for the others, but let's talk about Layla. On paper, she appears to be one of the more out there characters with a mystic shield, a new take on the jump pad, and the thing I'm waiting to get Rule 34'd, her ex-boyfriend, Jason. And when I tell you how underwhelmed and underpowered I felt in every fight ability-wise, the shield was not remotely decent because it blocks you out of other abilities and other weapons, and most of the time the enemies would rush around the corner and beat your cheeks like it was a 2-for-1 special at Pound Town. I won't lie to you now, the jump pad shaped like an elevator was neat. It was tasty. That's as far as it goes though, because the sheer amount of times I thought, oh fuck yeah buddy boy, to the moon, only to be a bigger letdown than a Poundland condom at an orgy. But Jason, let's talk about Jason. Our punk rock baddie who knows how to roll a faddy. All I know is if he performs in the bed like he does as a companion, I think I figured out why he's the ex. My man will pull up, fist bump, wedge you one nerd and toodle pip back to the afterlife, and I am not going to entertain that kind of toxic masculinity. As far as passives go, you've got the expected, more ammo, co-op help, you know the script. I've been raw dogging this game with my free little incher, so, let's talk about something that I did like in the game. The enemies in the game I enjoyed. Well, most of the time. Fucking change weapon, you silly slag! You fucking bitch! From standard gun users to vampires, from mini-bosses to CEOs of spooky shit, the enemies were fun. The drip on some of them went hard, but what I liked was the variety. More so with the vampires, as the gunmen had varieties of different guns, but that was to be expected with the human enemies. But the vampires, let me tell you something, public, we ate good with the vampires. We had nerdy little scout units, we had normal drones, then we had the one that used ethereal bullshit to a roid daddy that hated you messing with his stuff. I cannot credit the enemy design enough. Considering we expected just vampires, Redfall did amazing with its variety options. As far as another point that I liked, god damn, the art style, they were tickling my pickle till my banjo snapped. Redfall was stunning to look at. Even with my footage being in the low setting, I could just tell, wow, this game would look great on medium. Now, unfortunately, let's go back to the complaints. Speaking about the art design for the game, having the cheek, the nerve, the kind of stones only that dude that eat bees has, to charge this game at a retail price of £59.99 of the King's English, it would have some decent cutscenes. I know this is a non-issue for a few players, but this is my video, so goddammit, my ADHD brain would like some moving pixels. Now, for the one I've been a little hard stuck on mentioning is the story. Like I said before, I only got to the very start of the second area, then said, I'm done. So remember that pinch of salt I asked you to take before? Go grab another pinch. Right, for me, the story was just not clicking. The chart of missions they offer had to feature a basic side quest storyline just to bulk it up a bit. Admittedly, it was giving you two stories. As far as I could tell, it was an area storyline and a main quest storyline. Sadly, the main story for the game came across somewhat as a fetch quest. The standard, go here, grab this, come back, cheers. Whereas the story for the area was not half bad and offered somewhat of a deep story. Mild spoilers for the Hollow Man mission. It featured a mad scientist and his poor daughter, showing you the pain she went through and the limits this doctor did not have, all culminating in a very decent boss fight. See, I'm not going to give you the whole play out, but I tell you this in hopes that if I ever come back to Redfall, I'm met with this because it had horror elements. It had a decent set of characters explained in the amount of time they had. And it installed a motive to carry on with the missions and get to the end of it, not to finish it, but to know what happens. And I am hyping this up because the Hollow Man mission was good, I was enjoying it, but as much as I'm hyping this up, again, the main quest left a bad taste in my mouth. Just like your mum's chili con carne, but I move on. The story left me with no need or itch, so to speak, to carry on to fuck around and find out. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, this British twat must have a smooth brain and a short attention span. Well, dear listener, let me stroke my own scrote a quick second. One of my favourite things to indulge in is the 40k universe, and that has a vast amount of things you have to pay attention to. And I can just get my shaft so deep in all them lore juices. So it's not the attention span, it's... the only way I can word it is this. The story bussy wasn't grippy. See, the reason I made this video is not to deter you from playing the game. I would like you to, because I would like this game to have a comeback kid story. I want it to get polished and, I don't know, something fixed with it. Personally, I hope I wake up at 2 AM, covered in sweat, my nipples pierced, and someone else's shit in my pants, violently downloading Redfall, just so I can play it again. But till that day, guess I'll just wait on the next game. Goodbye everyone in public.